Hello, welcome to Remission to Rods. I'm Andre, and we're starting this new channel here. It's been quite a adventure through life in the last few years, but came back to a passion of mine through cancer. Let's just say that. It's about the only way I can put it. Built a lot of cars through my life. I'm 52 years old. Probably had more cars and bikes and hot rods and choppers than any man should probably own in his life. And of course, sold them all, just like every man says. They've sold every project at some point in time that they wish they wouldn't have sold. I've sold a few of those. But my wife's behind the camera, Angela. And we found out in 2022.
I think it was 2024.
24, sorry, my brain, excuse me, that I had colon cancer through just going for a routine colonoscopy, and it changed our lives, changed my life. Made me realize a whole lot of things in life that are important and that aren't important, and time is one of those. And, you don't really have a whole lot of time on your hands, like you think you do when you're young, until you run into a situation like that tests your mortality, is the only way I can put that. So, but it brought a lot of things to light, long story short. But if you're a man out there or a woman, you're in your 40s, they've dropped the age to 45, go get tested for your family, for yourself, for your loved ones. It saved my life. If I wouldn't have went for a colonoscopy, if my wife wouldn't have told me to go for a colonoscopy, I wouldn't be here today. But again, we'll talk about that some more through this whole adventure, because I believe, people don't get tested enough, and they don't go when they have aches and pains, especially us men. So you'll hear me talk about that throughout this series that we're doing. So as you can see behind me, there's a 70 Tempest, and I've chased this car for 10 years. I moved to Arizona 10 years now ago, and I found this place here that it's a tow lot, and I started buying motorcycles and fixing them up and selling them through them. And I'd buy a couple motorcycles here and there a month and sell them and whatnot to make a little extra money. Well, one day I saw this Tempest sitting in the back lot, and I asked the owner, I said, "Hey, is that for sale?" No. He's going to take it to this town above us here, big city, and sell it and take it to the auction. And he would never sell it to me. So every time I go back there, I'd ask him, like, "Hey, what about this car?" And he wouldn't sell me this car, wouldn't sell it to me. So about 4 or 5 years goes by, and I end up taking my wife back to go look at this car, and we went and looked at it. And when I found the car 10 years ago, the interior was in good shape, and the car was still in fairly decent shape, and still wouldn't sell me the car. And we rolled the windows up in it because somebody had rolled the windows down. So me and my wife did that. So we go about another 6 years past that, and every now and then I bring this car up and we talk about this car. We'd never go look at it. Well, I had a dream about this car, and this is after cancer, mind you. We'd been through that at that point in time, and I was a few months out of it at that point in time after my surgery, and I had a dream about this car. I was talking to a little man in a little red hat, and behind him was the car, this Tempest, on a tow truck already in my dream. And that's pretty much the gist of the dream. And then I woke up, and first thing I woke up and I told my wife, I said, "Hey, I had a dream about that dang car last night, that Tempest in that tow lot." And we went to breakfast, and after breakfast, someone just kept telling me, "Let's go see if that car's still in that lot." And I went. And wouldn't you know, this car was still sitting in that lot. And I went in and I talked to the people in the office, and I didn't realize the older gentleman that had owned the place had passed away. I didn't know that. And I started talking to his son and told his son, that I've been chasing the car for 10 years with his dad. And he kind of enjoyed the story, of course. So he told me to go back and take a look at the car. So we went back and we took a look at the car, and I never checked the car to see if the engine spun at that point in time, ever. After, even looking at the car before, I never even thought about it. So me and the wife went back there, I popped the hood, and I grabbed a hold of the belts, and the first thing that car did was spin over. No problem. The engine did. Well, so we go back inside, and I end up working a deal with the gentleman and buying the car. And eventually we'll go into how much I paid for the car. That can be another story in here, because it's kind of a funny story as well. But we would like for you guys to come and check out our channel. We're going to try the best we can do to add new content. We do customer vehicles too as well. We do anything from old school to I'm putting an LT8 into a 97 Tahoe right now. We haven't showed any pictures. You will see some pictures of that on our page. Sorry, bugs flying around. And you'll see some more pictures of the Tempest because there's a lot to come with it. It does not have the original engine in it anymore, the 350. There's a story goes along with that. We'll get into that right now. I bet you guys can probably guess what's kind of in it. Now, but I'm not going to show you. That's going to be the teaser for you. You guys come back and watch. We're doing lots of things with this car. We got a lot of plans for it. And again, cancer's kind of what brought me to this car. Again, I figured out life was short. I want to build. I want to build cars. I want to build hot rods. I want to enjoy them. That's been my passion since I was a kid. I grew up kind of poor and didn't really have a whole lot of money to get my cars, worked on. So I had to work on them myself. So that's how I learned how to wrench. And any of you DIYers out there, you can do it. I mean, I do it every day. I've never, been to school or taught anything. I'm self-taught. Anything I wanted to learn, I went and read about, or I watched somebody else do it. So come back and watch, and that's what you're going to get from me. Maybe I can teach you how to do something. Maybe you can teach me how to do something. Anyway, like, subscribe, come back and check us out. Thank you.